May I officially welcome you this morning to the Houghton Academy graduating and the Houghton Academy graduating class of 2017 to our 129th annual commencement ceremony. In addition to the class and all of you, I would like to especially welcome all the parents. I would like to ask all the parents to just stand for a moment so we may recognize you, parents of graduates. As well, there are, I believe, our 4 members of our Board of Trustees. I will not name them, but I believe I would ask you to stand. Some of them are alumni, and they'll be standing again in a moment. But would our members of the Board of Trustees that could be here please stand? Thank you, Mr. Pullen, Mrs. Brooks, Mrs. There are many other guests, but rather than assume we would have everyone standing, I do want to ask for a few members of our staff and faculty and administration to stand. And please hold your applause until I finish reading this fairly long list. Mr. Scott Frazier, would you stand as Chief Financial Officer and Director of Admission? Please remain standing. Dr. Vincent Montoro, our Principal. Mr. Philip Merrill, Director of Athletics. Mr. Jonathan Retz, Residence Life Coordinator. Mrs. Janice Smithley, School Counselor, and Mr. Alex Wright, the Senior Class Advisor. Then I would like, in addition to these folks remain standing, for all Houghton Academy faculty who taught these seniors this year to please stand. The school support staff or residence life support staff who supported these seniors this year, would you please stand? And any house parents as well. Oh, we've got them already. Good, right? And house or homestay parents, I would like you to stand as well. Kind of an unsung group of people who are our homestay parents. And if I forgot anybody who worked with seniors, please stand right now, and we want to thank you. Our senior success is a direct result of all of your participation and community commitment. I would like also to recognize the 4 folks seated here to my left. From your far right, Mr. Segun Banwal, parent of a 2017 graduate, Mrs. Caroline Tranchel, Academy teacher and academic coordinator for international students, Dr. Vincent Montoro, our principal, and Mr. Alex Wright, high school Christian studies teacher and the senior class advisor for 2017. Finally, I would welcome all current Academy students and especially returning alumni who are present this morning. You are the reason that this Academy was founded. Your preparation is the primary object of our plans and our prayers for you. And we especially would welcome any recent or distant alumni back to campus and look forward to catching up with you and, for me, meeting some of you for the first time during the reception following these exercises. At this time, would all alumni of Houghton Academy please stand? I would ask you to enjoy this morning's ceremony. These exercises are for our celebration, and would ask that you please observe all courtesies due a formal ceremony such as this. We will now stand together and sing and join together in our commencement hymn, O God, Our Help. The words to which are found in your program. Please join us in standing and singing, and please remain standing after the song for the invocation by Pastor Baldwin.
Oh God, our help in ages Almighty God, we thank you for this great day of joy for the graduating students and their families. We thank you, Father, for ordering their steps to Houghton Academy. We want to thank you for a successful education. We thank you for the school. We thank you for the community. We thank you for their friends. We commit this great day into your hands, O God. We ask that you bless it. We commit every one of the graduating students into your hands. Father, please bless them. Help each one of them to reach its own potential and to fulfill your destiny. Above all, we ask that you make each one of them to be a blessing to their family and to the world. In Jesus' name we pray.
Be not afraid, for I have redeemed you. Be not afraid, I have called you by name. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the floods, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be consumed. You are mine, you are precious in my sight. Be not afraid, for I have redeemed you. Be not afraid, I have called you by name. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the floods, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be consumed. You are mine, you are precious in my sight. My love for you is everlasting. My love for you shall have no end. When you pass through the waters, I will be with you. When you pass through the floods, they will not sweep over you. When you walk through the fire, you will not be consumed. You are mine, you are precious in my sight. You are precious in my sight. You are precious in my sight.
Joel Tears is a member of the National Honor Society and served as the senior class treasurer. During his 4 years at Houghton Academy, he has earned 2 varsity letters for golf and tennis, enjoyed the snowboarding and board game club, and played the bass guitar on the chapel worship team. And he's one of the first members of what he and his friends have named or dubbed the Arizona and Oral Hygiene Club. While at Houghton Academy, he has earned already 21 college credits. Joel will be pursuing a degree in mechanical engineering in the fall. With a GPA of 95.91, please welcome the class of 2017 salutatorian, Joel Tears.
teachers, classmates, and friends to the graduation of Houghton Academy's class of 2017. Since I did not take public speaking, I have no idea what I'm doing up here. But I'm going to give it my best shot, and as per request of a fellow senior, I'm going to try to keep it short. So, I would like to share something with y'all and my fellow graduates, something detrimental that I myself consistently did throughout my high school years, and how I coped with it. Procrastination. Something that many of you might be familiar with, but with me, it only got worse as I progressed through school. As a rule, I never worked on an assignment ahead of time. I was always pushing the limit of how long I could wait till I started an assignment. Whether that was staying up late to do a paper or starting an assignment last period that was due by the end of the day. This problem has haunted me throughout high school. Although sometimes it annoys me that I do it, I feel like I can't help myself. It has caused me a great deal of stress and worry, yet I do feel like I've come to terms with it at least, and found my own way to do well despite it. I didn't turn assignments in late. I knew that I needed to start at some point and finish before it was due. I thought about it beforehand, ruminated on the assignment that I might be able to come up with ideas. Also, I valued the quality. Even if I didn't work on the assignment in advance, when it came time for me to do it, I put in my best effort. Additionally, I realized that class participation was immune to my procrastination. I've learned, even though this is a small part of the total grade, if you do poorly in this area, that is participation, it will bring down your total grade. However, it is an assignment that you don't have to worry about due dates. One way I would encourage fellow students or underclassmen who struggle with procrastination is be interested in what you're studying. Even if you don't particularly like the class, ask questions, discuss the material, learn to think critically about the subject outside of memorization. I learned how to formulate an argument for classes that encourage in-class debate. Also, friends can be a lot of help when trying to complete assignments. Talk with them. You might be able to realize something that you didn't see before. Additionally, I feel now that I'm used to my procrastination, I've become more adaptable, more used to pressure and stress. If more than one important thing comes up at a time, I know how to deal with it. I would like to generalize some of these points for some of you who don't have my problem, but might have a different one. You're not going to be good at everything. You will have things that hold you back or discourage you. For instance, I've always done well with my maths and sciences, but I didn't fare well when it came to social studies. Yet I found that in those classes, I was able to do well through class discussion and showing the teacher that I was interested in the material. Remember, you can find tools that will make up for your weaknesses, so if you can still come to terms with them and be comfortable working around them. Finally, classmates, you should believe in yourself, but if you don't, that's okay, because I believe in you. So you just have to believe in me, because I believe in you.
Thank you very much. Thanks both to Joel for his address and to Lily for your piece here in the evening, the morning today. Thank you. And it's my pleasure to introduce our valedictorian. Known to most of us as Alice, while maintaining the highest average in the class, Alice has earned 13 college credits and has been quite active in co-curricular activities, including Student Senate, National Honor Society, varsity cheerleading, track and field, worship team, and drama productions. She has accompanied various musical groups and graced many an audience with piano pieces, receiving the Association of Christian Schools International Superior Award, and as well vocal solos. Alice has received notable scholarship amounts and has been accepted at a number of prestigious universities and colleges. She has chosen to attend the University of California at Santa Barbara, where she will study mathematics. With a grade point average of 96.7, please welcome the class of 2017 valedictorian, Miss Lou Kega.
Mr. Nelson, Dr. Montoro, Academy Board, teachers, staff, parents, other family members, and especially my fellow classmates. Time flies like flowing water. After 1,461 days of high school life, here we are, sitting on the stage, ready to receive our diplomas. Have you ever felt that something is really heavy, but in fact it's not? This might happen to you later when you hold your diplomas. In the past 4 years, you've overcome so many challenges, gone through so many difficulties, and finally, the school gives you this sheet of paper. It's physically light, with a density of only 0.7 gram per cubic centimeter, but it means many things. I think that's why Mrs. Smithley doesn't want you to throw it away. It contains the days you struggled with paper, the nights you stayed up late to solve a math question, the games when you tried your best, playing tooth and nail to get points for your team, and the afternoons you made every effort to remember all the hard lines in the play. After dealing with these challenges, you graduate from high school. We deal with challenges all the time. They can come from school, family, friends, and work. They can be really annoying, but they make our life more colorful. The process of dealing with challenges is painful, but once you overcome them, you will feel excited, joy, and proud. Now, I want to share my personal stories of overcoming challenges. This was 2010. I was in a vocal competition against other child singers in my district. Standing on the stage, I felt nervous and diffident. But at that time, I knew that I must finish my song. I must overcome my fear. I must accept this challenge. So I took a deep breath and started singing. My performance turned out perfect, drawing warm applause from the judges. At the end, I won the second prize. This was 2014. I was in my high school's annual track meet. Standing in my lane and looking at the other 16 800-meter competitors, I felt scared. What if I'm the last one? What if my shoelace is loose? What if I fall over? And what if I throw up? However, I told myself, forget those extra worries. You have to do this. You have to finish this challenge. So what I did after the race started was just sprint with all of my power, and I finally received 4th place, earning 6 points for my class. This was 2017. I was suffering from high pressure. I had track practice every day and track meet every Tuesday. I needed to practice a whole book of piano music for the play. And I also had AP Physics 1 and 2, AP Statistics, and AP Microeconomics exams to prepare. Moreover, I wanted to keep my GPA high. It was a very hard time for me. I felt worried and helpless. There were nights I stayed up late till 3 a.m. to study. There were nights I cried in my bed and doubting if I could overcome these difficulties. But I also told myself that being worried and frustrated doesn't help with anything. The more difficult situations you are in, the more rational and consistent you need to be. Stop crying like a baby and begin doing your work. Okay, challenge accepted. I put 100% focus on my practice and study, making sure my work was done with high efficiency. And at last, I finished all track meets, I didn't mess up the school play, and I survived my 4 AP tests. See, in every story, I was afraid of challenges. I thought of them as terrible, scary monsters. But if I put my effort in and did what I was supposed to do, challenges became easier. My fellow classmates, I want to tell you that high school graduation is just a start. We still have a long road of life. We still have a lot of difficulties to deal with, a lot of challenges to overcome, and a lot of hardships to go through. But don't fear. Don't panic. Do what you should do and always try your best. Like Miley Cyrus sings in her song, The Climb. There's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make you move. Keep on moving, keep on climbing, keep your faith. Be strong and keep pushing on. At last. 感谢各位中国的家长与亲戚朋友们不远万里来到霍顿参加我们的毕业典礼。Thank you.
Thank you, Alice, very much for those words. I understood almost all of them. Caroline Trancho, born and raised in Buenos Aires, or Aires, Argentina, with the majority of her adult years spent between Wisconsin and Boston areas, currently serves as Houghton Academy's academic support coordinator for residential life. She has oriented her life toward students and student development since her own student years at Gordon College, where, while earning her Bachelor of Arts in Spanish with double minors in psychology and English, she oversaw 50 various student ministries, small groups, and their branch leaders. After graduating, she was a youth worker and academic supervisor just up the road here in Fillmore, New York at the Powerhouse Youth Center. Since 2014, Caroline has been the Academy's support coordinator for residential life, regularly conferencing with students to set both academic and personal goals, and as well working closely with Houghton College student tutor mentors, spending her afternoons and evenings primarily with our boarding students as the English language learner and TOEFL teacher, along with running the dinner time and evening study hours for boarding students. As a member of our residential life team, she contributes to creating and implementing activities as well. Caroline and her husband Alessio also host Homestay Daughters have hosted for the past 2 years. As what we call a third culture kid, or TCK, Caroline knows firsthand the challenges that come with moving to a new culture, acquiring a new language, or perfecting another language, and understanding one's identity through all of that process. She has accepted now, though, an offer to attend the University of Minnesota this coming fall to do graduate studies in youth development leadership, and we're going to miss her and Alessio, but I would ask you to welcome her, our commencement speaker, Mrs. Caroline Trancho.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson, for the introduction. Graduates, friends, and family, it is an incredible honor to have been elected to speak to you this morning. There's a potent sense of belonging looking around this room at the faces from near and far that have had such a lasting influence on the lives of our graduates. When thinking on what to speak about this morning, I acknowledge that to the best of my ability, I should talk about something that I am, if I'm so bold to say, an expert in. And so I came to the most sensible conclusion that I should talk about ice cream. Now, before we delve deeper into the philosophical, ethical, religious, and moral points that I'll be covering, let me backtrack for a second. I want to take you all back with me to when I was a child, referred to as Carly. As many of you know, I have an incredible sweet tooth. Now, you aren't just born with a sweet tooth like mine. You have to nourish it daily with refined sugars baked into cookies and caramels. You have to, of course, to the horror of your once a dentist mother, have to have an appropriate amount of cavities to be considered in the big leagues. And I think most importantly, you have to start young. While many of you were raised practicing the piano, singing, playing basketball, I was eating candy. Now, I was about 7 when I moved from Argentina to the United States, and as many of you know from your own experiences, no one spoils you and feeds you quite like a grandparent does. So, I was finally able to make up for all the lost years spent with my grandparents, making sure that I had enough skin on my bones and food in my belly. I would often go to my grandparents' house on weekends, and every afternoon my grandma would bring up out of the basement a 2-gallon pail of ice cream and would serve me a couple of heaping scoops onto a sugar cone. They were always acceptable scoops to my greedy eyes, but I did wish they would be larger. Then she would do the same for my grandpa, and after a few minutes my ice cream would be gone. And my grandma, who had always been so clever, would have left out the cones and ice cream scoop knowing that I would want more. My grandpa would take far longer than me to finish, and despite his attempted pleading, would not be allowed another cone. So I would sit with my new cone, and everything would resume as it had been. After my grandma would win yet another round of Rummikub or Zilch, the two of them would go out for an afternoon nap. Now, something to be noted. On top of having an incredible sweet tooth, I have also been told numerous times, tiene buen diente, which translates from Spanish to, she has good teeth, which translates to, man, can she eat. So, also to be noted, I have never been good at taking naps, and I knew where my grandma kept the ice cream. So, it was an old unfinished basement that I would avoid at all costs. It was filled with the noise of the crackling of their wood-burning stove and other spooky noises. 3 old bedrooms that had gathered cobwebs, and I was always certain the world's most patient murderer who never sought me out, but just waited for me should I ever want to, say, get some more ice cream, was also in the basement. I suppose that day I was feeling especially disciplined in my sweet tooth training because I decided that it was worth the risk of possible death. So I crept down the steep wooden stairs to the basement. Now this was before 8-year-olds had iPhones, and I didn't have a flashlight, so I had to walk in the dark to the other end of the room where the rope to turn on the light bulb dangled down. I suppose my grandparents were so familiar with what they needed from the basement that they never bothered turning on the light, because I remember it had been engulfed with one of the largest spider webs I had ever seen. So it was either turn on the light and risk being poisoned by what I was certain was a ginormous spider hiding away, or leave the light off and risk whatever unknown was in the hidden darkness. I finally decided the former was a better option, and I quickly reached through the sticky web, pulled on the rope, and ran to the freezer in the back room. I frantically swung the door open, and my heart beating quickly because I was certain someone was sure to jump out at me any minute now. I reached for the ice cream. I looked again. Where was the ice cream? It was nowhere to be found. I sprinted out of the room, leaving the light on, ran up the creaky wooden stairs, and out of breath and slightly annoyed, I swung open the upstairs freezer to find that, after all of my basement fright, the ice cream had been upstairs all along. More than that, beside the freezer, there was a note left in my grandma's handwriting that said, "Carly, ice cream in the freezer, cones in the cupboard." So, I share this anecdote not only to shed light on my clearly unhealthy obsession with ice cream, but because I also think there is a lot to say about being young, eager, and willing to go after what you want, even if it is just ice cream. So I have 2 takeaways that I would challenge you to do like I did in my ice cream cone conniving, and 3 bits of advice that I would do differently. Perhaps most notable in the story is that I was a go-getter. I could have waited for my grandparents to wake up, because surely they would jump at the chance of feeding me more. But I decided I was just as capable. Like me, I want you guys to be bold now. Don't wait. 1 Timothy 4:12. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. In the big picture of life, you are all young. We are all young. Most of us in this room are young. In years to come, you will look back on high school and you will have many questions for yourself. Why didn't anyone tell me I shouldn't have cut my bangs that way? Why did I date him? Why didn't I take that class more seriously? Why did I take that class in those grades so seriously? But these questionings are not reflections on your youth, but rather on the growth that you've made. The decisions that you make in your youth shape you. They shape the people around you. And they are just as meaningful as the decisions that you will make in the future. You may not relate quite yet, but sometimes it is so tempting to wish you were older. Perhaps if I were older, I would be taken more seriously. Perhaps if I were older, it wouldn't be so hard for me to decide what to do with my life next. Perhaps if I were older, I'd be more confident in my appearance. Perhaps if I were older, you fill in the blank. Yet the older I get, the less and less time I want to spend on waiting. Waiting for a certain age to come is like waiting for a commencement speech to end. It may be years before you feel old enough, qualified enough, ready enough to go after what you want, but I want to warn you that this mindset will rob you of precious time. All around us, there are examples of men and women who pursued a calling, whether they were the ones to first envision it or were simply taking hold of what was found before them. At 17, composer Felix Mendelssohn wrote his overture to Shakespeare's A Midsummer's Night's Dream. At 18, Edgar Allan Poe enlisted in the army and published his first book of poetry. At 19, Henry David Thoreau delivered a Harvard commencement address. Recognize your abilities now. You don't have to have a doctorate or have 40 years in a certain field to have a talent or a gift to offer the world. Each and every one of you. God has gifted you with unique gifts, abilities, and ways of thinking right now. On the stage, with or without a diploma, you are capable of bettering yourself and bettering the world around you just as you are. Maybe it's your empathetic heart. Maybe it's your natural eye for photography, your knack for numbers. Maybe it's the challenges that you've overcome as a child. Maybe it's the internal battles that you continue to overcome. The list can go on, and don't let me box you in. Don't let anyone box you in to what you have to offer the world around you. At the same time, recognize the answers you have and the answers you don't have. It's not weakness to not know. It's freeing. When we acknowledge that there's so much we have yet to learn, we allow ourselves to openly seek, to openly question, to openly grow. Maybe it's from this place of uncertainty that you question your faith, that you allow yourself to be honest in that you are wrestling with questions and that that's okay, that you realize you don't need to have all of the answers, but that the process of seeking truth is just as important as holding on to the truths that you do know with tight conviction. Not knowing can be freeing. So recognize the potential. Sure, often when we're young, it's easy to see the limitations, but oh, the possibilities. You might think you are too young to do anything worthwhile, but you are just the right age to do so much. Conquer one of your biggest fears. Learn a new instrument. Go to college. Break a stereotype. Know that you are beautiful. Listen to your parents' opinions. Question your parents' opinions. Learn how to cook. See the world apart from social media. Be grateful. They may not all be tangible actions where the fruit of your labor will show immediately, and of course it's not an exhaustive list. But the idea is that it's simply a matter of scaling the dark stairs, pushing through the spider webs, and just doing it. What makes me so confident that you are able to just do it? It's the next takeaway from little 8-year-old me, going where no 8-year-old had gone alone before, is that little Carly was sure of where she was and with whom she was with. When I went down to the basement, that was scary enough to stick with me after all of these years, even in the moment of me creeping down each creaky step, of finding my way through the darkness, I knew in the back of my mind that I was in the safety of my grandparents' home, and that they wouldn't let anything bad happen to me. I knew that even though I was alone in the basement, one blood-curdling scream would have them right beside me. These truths I held on to, though subconsciously, and are what empowered me. So secondly, in being like Carly, be empowered. You're young, you're full of energy, you have life experiences and unique gifts, but most of all, you have the grace that comes from knowing Christ. Many see Christ followers as meek, as those who serve and refer themselves to laws and Christ's commands and to legalistic checklists of rights and wrongs. Yet, it's anything but binding to be a Christ follower. Again, it is freeing. Christ followers are strong. They are not only fighters, but they are victors. And because of this, they are empowered. The death that Christ died for each and every one of us, the one which united us with Christ, was a one-time death. Because of this, we have the power of grace, of life anew, and each one of us can be a conqueror. A conqueror to sin and to death so rightly deserved. But instead, grace empowers us. When life gets hard, as it will, when temptations get strong, as they will, when you feel like you are in the pit, which you will, you need not live life feeling already defeated, but instead, we daily have the power to choose life, choose grace, and to choose whom and what we serve. When we are united with Christ, never again will we be alone. Even when all we see is darkness and all we hear are the sounds of creaking floorboards, we can live in confidence that we are empowered by the most powerful. Now, equally as important as doing is how you do what you do. So there are 3 things that I want to advise you against doing. Don't let anyone look down on you because you are young. Now, the second part of this verse is equally as important as the encouragement that Timothy provides for youth. But set an example for the believers in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, and in purity. Be bold, but there's a caveat. Do so while setting a godly example. So while it was good that 8-year-old me was bold enough to venture into the terrifying basement, my deceit and greed were not actions reflective of a believer setting a good example. So 1, don't throw away your values. Be the David when approached by Goliath, the Joan of Arc, the Mozart of your generation, doing so with strong morals. It is possible to achieve what you set out to do while simultaneously behaving in a way that reflects kindness and love. Out of the overflow of your heart, the mouth speaks. So let your heart be tuned to what pleases God, and from that let your actions and words follow. This will lead to success. Don't forget, God wants you to use your talents and your gifts for His glory. He doesn't want them to go to waste. So if you trust in Him and lead a life that is pleasing to Him, you will be successful in the most rewarding way. Number 2, don't be stubborn. Who do you see yourself as? Where do you see yourself in the future? Are you walking that path alone? This is where it is important to surround yourself with mature, strong influences. This is where it's important to be open-minded to the thoughts of those who have different backgrounds, different beliefs, different ideals than you do. From this stance of humility, we allow ourselves to look at the world through a different lens. Let others help you. You don't have to have it all together all the time. And if you think that you do, you are probably kidding yourself. Let yourself feel your feelings. It's not weak to give weight to your emotions, women and men. And then, still feeling what you feel, you take the next steps. Seek the counsel of someone older and wiser than you, realizing that many people may be wiser than you. Like I said earlier, there's freedom in not knowing and knowing that you don't need to have all of the answers. Embrace that. Being young and bold is amazing, but it can also be incredibly scary and lonely. Being young and bold and brave enough to ask for help is even better. Though young adulthood can be lonely at times, we want you to know that you will always have a guiding voice from your family here at Houghton Academy. Whether literally here at this school or from the faculty and staff that are moving on, these relationships that have been built are not terminated once you leave this school a graduate. So know your limits and know when to humble yourself and ask for help. Don't feel like you always have to choose the lesser of two evils, the spider web or the darkness. Don't be stubborn. And maybe a wiser voice will give you a third option you never considered. Lastly, and arguably most important, so for those of you who have tuned out, tune back in now, don't be self-absorbed. Being young and capable of doing what you want comes with the responsibility to use your resources outside of yourself. You are empowered so that you can help others. One of my favorite passages as of late comes from comedian Trevor Noah's memoir, Born a Crime, where he shares stories of his childhood growing up in South Africa and the harrowing reality of free life after the apartheid. Throughout the memoir, Noah shares numerous accounts of clever methods that he and many of his friends and family members used to survive the ostracism, continued racism, and the poor living conditions. Noah recalls a pivotal moment in his youth when a friend of his gifted him a CD writer that provided Noah with the means to find an out from the systematic poverty and struggles that he and his mother faced. He recalls, "Life was good, and none of it would have happened without Andrew. Without him, I would never have mastered the world of music piracy and lived a life of endless McDonald's. What he did on a small scale showed me how important it is to empower the dispossessed and the disenfranchised in the wake of oppression. People love to say, give a man a fish and he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish and he'll eat for a lifetime. What they don't say is, and it would be nice if you gave him a fishing rod." That's the part of the analogy that's missing. Working with Andrew is the first time in my life I realized you need someone from the privileged world to come to you and say, okay, here's what you need, and here's how it works. Talent alone would have gotten me nowhere without Andrew giving me the CD writer. People say, oh, that's a handout. No, I still have to work to profit by it, but I don't stand a chance without it. Graduates, you are leaving here today fully equipped. It is now your responsibility to be bold for yourself, but also to be the voice for the voiceless, to be bold for others. Look on others with compassion and look for opportunities to take action. Make opportunities where you can help others make something of themselves. Share the resources that have been shared with you. Thanks to the years of mentors and teachers at home and here at Houghton Academy, your God-given talents and the grace that God so freely offers, you are leaving today with the tools for success. You are an empowered person here and now. And in turn, you have the great responsibility to empower those in need. So, class of 2017, be young, be bold, be empowered. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Tranchel. In a few moments, I will be giving a few announcements, then we will have a short intermission. Before that, and following the intermission, is the student awards and presentation of diplomas, as you can see. Prior to the intermission and prior to my announcements, I would like to ask Mrs. Simone to please come to the platform. Is she here right now, or is she hiding? Oh, good. Thank you. And if you would just come up here and while I read. Mrs. Julie Simone has been an integral part of the Houghton Academy community since the fall when her daughter Nicole and son Matthew arrived here. Matthew is graduating today. Julie has been here or been there for a number of us as a volunteer, parent volunteer, participating in a variety of areas, including faculty appreciation activities, sorting or culling or assigning or explaining to new families and new parents and students how the school uniform resale actually works. And besides that, she had to prepare with all, as I mentioned, the sorting redistribution process each year she's well familiar with. She is a member of the Character, Values, and Spiritual Formation Subcommittee for Accreditation during this last year's self-study process and has for several years engaged with drama and musical productions in set design and building, as well as with costuming, hair. She never did anything here for me, but makeup and backstage work. Thank you, Mrs. Simone, for the spirit of service you have brought to Houghton Academy. Also, a thank you to our pianists, Sarah Gurley, also for at the processional and recessional as well, Susanna Rohrbach, and the accompanist tonight for the solo, Jerome Bell. Our choir director had a lot to do with a variety of these things, Mr. Tranchel. And I want to thank our sound, light, and camera crew, who is, it's a little warmer as they are sitting up a little higher there, and thank you for that. And as well as their preparations for the reception, Chef Ed Taylor and all who helped him, and also for the art exhibit in the Commons area provided by Jenny Johnson and her students. Miss Johnson, thank you. Houghton Academy's vision is to prepare students to live authentically, learn deeply, lead globally, and love boldly for the glory of God. Our school verse, symbolized within the logo of the tree that you've seen in many places, including your program, And our brand new school sign, by the way, down towards the parking area, has spreading branches and is embedded with the passage Isaiah 61, 1 through 3. The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me to bring good news to the poor. He has sent me to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives, and the opening of the prison to those who are bound, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor and the day of vengeance of our God, to comfort all who mourn, to grant those who mourn in Zion, to give them a beautiful headdress instead of ashes, the oil of gladness instead of mourning, the garment of praise instead of a faint spirit, that they may be called oaks or trees of righteousness, the planting of the Lord, that he may be glorified. Dr. Montoro will now continue with the Commencement Awards and Diplomas for 2017, and I will assist him.
Thank you, Mr. Nelson. The class of 2017 is a unique and diverse group of students. These 24 students come from 3 continents, 8 countries. Academically, 23 of 24 GPAs are above an 80%. 8 of those are above 90%. Collectively, they have received 58 college acceptance letters. As a class, they have earned a total of 153 college credits. At this time, we would like to present our senior awards. We are proud of each of our students and are confident they will enjoy great success in the future as God leads them. The first award is the I Dare You Leadership Award. The I Dare You Leadership Award recognizes young people who have demonstrated a motivation for leadership through a balanced approach to life. Each year, our faculty selects 2 individuals who exhibit personal integrity, balanced living, and high motivation for leadership. The I Dare You Leadership Award winners are Micah Brooks and Brianna Burgess. Our next award is the New York State Comptroller Achievement Award. This award is given to a student who has shown academic excellence and the potential for leadership through involvement in activities that improve the community. The recipient of this award should be a student who has devoted a significant amount of time to helping his school and or community. We are proud to present the 2017 New York State Comptroller Achievement Award to Matthew Simone. The next award is the Grange Award. The Allegheny County Pomona Grange is a nonprofit, community-minded fraternal organization in which its members are taught that success is a good cause is gained only by perseverance. The Grange believes we are inspired when we see someone overcome obstacles. The Allegheny County Pomona Grange Award goes to Gabrielle Muley. The fourth award this morning is the Nicholas B. Merrill Memorial Scholarship and is presented by Mr. Phil Merrill.
You guys will understand someday, hopefully, that one of the most precious gifts that can be given to you will be a child. Back in 2009, Mrs. Merrill, Sandy, my wife, and I established the scholarship to honor our son. Nicholas would have been a member of the class of 2009. And we'd like to recognize a senior who displays the traits we would have striven to install in Nicholas if God had not called him home. It is our belief that God desires all of his children to develop God-given abilities and be well-rounded individuals. Thus, the recipient of this award is a young person who desires to be his or her best in each of the following areas. Scholarship. That student must possess a thirst for knowledge. Athletics. The student has earned a varsity letter. Faith. The student is a Christian living life that is consistent with a Christian worldview. And finally, service. The student is an active participant in Houghton Academy life beyond the classroom. The award includes a certificate, but also a small monetary value award to be used towards their post-secondary education. This year's recipient of the Nicholas B. Merrill Scholarship Award is Brianna Burgess.
Thank you, Mr. Merrill and Sandy. Our next award is the Daniel Edward Lucky Memorial Math Science Awards. Daniel was the son of Dr. and Mrs. Robert Lucky. Dr. Lucky was a former Houghton College vice president, the president of Indiana Wesleyan University, an Academy alumnus and board member. Mrs. Lucky taught at the Academy. They had 4 children graduate from the Academy. Danny's brother Peter is a homestay parent. Danny was a member of the class of 1973, and these awards is given in his memory. These awards are presented to the students with the highest averages in math and science courses during the 4 years of high school. The Daniel Edward Lucky Math Award goes to Joel Tiers. The Daniel Edward Lucky Science Award goes to Trevor Smith. The next award is the Distinguished Athlete Award. This award is for displaying courage, poise, self-confidence, and leadership as a high school athlete. Houghton Academy takes the pleasure of presenting our 2017 Distinguished Athlete Awards to Micah Brooks and Brianna Burgess. The next award is the Senior Art Award. This student created numerous drawings for his AP portfolio. His drawing, entitled Hatching, was published in a hardcover book called Celebrating Art for the fall of 2016. Congratulations to this year's recipient for the Houghton Academy Art Award, Joel Tiers. The next award is the Senior Musician Award. The Senior Musician Award recipient this year is an outstanding member of the music department who has participated in both band and choir, a soprano in choir, and both a pianist and violinist in band. She's an ambitious individual who jumps at every opportunity that comes her way. Just this year, she participated in both the NISMA Solo Festival and the ACSI Day Music Festival and received the highest honors from both events. Her leadership skills, her God-given talents, and her love for Christ will continue to inspire those around her and always help her succeed in whatever endeavor she may choose. Congratulations, Alice Liu. Next, we would like to present the academic awards. These awards are given to students who meet the following criteria: strong GPA, active class participation and involvement, evidence of critical thought. Student shows ability to analyze and respond to various media, points of view, and important issues within an area of study. Student has a strong work ethic and outstanding quality of work. The Academic English Award goes to Brianna Burgess. The Academic History Award goes to Michael Brooks. The Academic Christian Studies Award goes to Annice Bundy. Our next award is the Faculty Awards. The Faculty Award is given to students whose contributions are often not recognized in traditional ways, but undoubtedly is someone who has made a difference. The award is selected by the faculty. Teachers wrote the following of our first recipient. I found this young man to be extremely diligent about being honest and anxious to do things correctly and according to procedure. I have met very few students who search the scriptures so earnestly to learn more about Christianity. I have been impressed with him since the first day I met him. A student with a big heart who, though he faces big challenges in pursuing his education in America, tries to see God's loving hand in all circumstances. So the first recipient of the two 2017 Faculty Awards is Mohammed Halavan. Teachers wrote the following of our second recipient. She has been one of those quiet, diligent students that often go unnoticed at Houghton Academy simply because they don't do anything particularly outstanding and also don't make waves. This young lady has been a valuable member of the chapel committee. I appreciate her quiet and unwavering faith in God. Diligence is her middle name, a sweet, personable young woman with class. The recipient of the second 2017 Faculty Award is Hain Chung. Mr. Nelson will now present the final two senior awards.
The Head of School Award is presented to a student who has had a significant all-around impact on the spirit and life of Houghton Academy. One who both exhibits and encourages in others a high degree of that spirit of excellence here at the school. This person is one who approaches the activity or academic pursuit, or both, with an all-in attitude such as the scriptures espouse in 2 Chronicles 19:9. In faithfulness and with a whole heart. The Head of School Award recipient for 2017 is a take no prisoners type of aggressive soccer player who displayed the same fervor whether on the field representing the Academy as an Allegheny County All-Star and in the Section 5 Soccer All-Star game, excuse me, or in the stands loudly supporting his schoolmates on the basketball court, or running the anchor leg on the Academy's Section 5 qualifying 4x100 meter relay team. Yet his occasional vocal effervescence is balanced by a special quietness. For the marks he has set in both school spirit and athletics, the 2017 Head of School Award recipient is Chibi. Thank you. The final award is the Christian Character Award, which I am allowed to present, and I thank Dr. Montoro for allowing me to do this as well. The Christian Character Award is given to the student that best exemplifies a strong Christian life, as evidenced as best we can determine by a strong and growing relationship with Christ. Please realize no one can be perfect. This is not an award for perfection, but it's an honest, faithful attempt. It's based on what we perceive as an honest, faithful attempt to live out the Christian life. And we are pleased to present the Christian Character Award of 2017 to Miss Bailey Lawson.
Mr. Nelson, Dr. Montoro, faculty, staff, and honored guests. It is my pleasure to present to you the class of 2017. Each of them with unique stories and experiences from different corners of the globe, by God's grace, arrived here at Houghton Academy and have shared their lives with each other and with us. As a class and as individuals, they left a lasting legacy of fun, daring, effort, compassion, and frivolity, shall we say? It's been a pleasure to serve as their class advisor this year. Through personal effort, encouragement from others, and ever-present strengthening of the Holy Spirit, they've completed the required studies and now stand ready to receive their Houghton Academy diplomas. Now, with their respective biographies, it is my pleasure to introduce our graduates. And I must apologize ahead of time for any names that I mispronounce. Chibikem Ifadi Anyachabello. Chibi has been a dominant force on our Houghton Academy soccer and track teams and was selected as a Section 5 All-Star and Allegheny County All-Star team member. He's also helped to manage the stage for various Houghton Academy musicals. Chibi has elected to enroll at King's College in Pennsylvania, where he will pursue international business. Oralua Oluwibami Badmo. Ore has played soccer and track. He had the honor of being chosen to play on the Section 5 All-Star and Allegheny County All-Star team and has received numerous awards in track and field. He has also committed time to community projects for the elderly. In the fall, Ore will be attending St. Joseph's University to pursue a degree in accounting. Micah Scott Brooks. Micah has earned 12 college credits during his 7 years as a student at Houghton Academy. He has served in student senate and been a member of band and tech crew. He's played basketball and soccer, earning selections as an all-star and Big 30 team member. He will pursue a degree in international business at the University of Loyola at Chicago. Anais Avril Bundy. Anais came to our school having been honored in the past as prom queen and as a Rotary Club Future Business Leader of America. She also served for 3 years as a caretaker for a disabled client and in the Houghton Church Nursery. Anais leaves as an NHS member who has earned 18 college credits. Her college choice is Emerson College in Boston, where she will pursue a career in broadcast journalism. Brianna Marie Burgess. Brianna has been a prominent member of our sports teams and school organizations. Her sports accolades include all tournament awards for volleyball and basketball. Brianna received the Senator Catherine Young Leadership Certificate and was a 2017 Community All-Star and Big 30 Academic All-Star. She served on Chapel Committee as a class representative and NHS member. She will study physical education at St. Bonaventure University. Hayne Cho. Hayne will begin her college venture with 13 college credits and has chosen to study communication and media at Wheaton College. She has played on the varsity basketball team for 3 years and varsity track in its debut season. Hayne is a member of NHS, served on the Chapel Committee, been an elected student representative for 3 years, volunteered in the church nursery, and won first place in a newspaper advertisement design contest. Elijah Toth Dashnow. Eli is active in his church and local community and has participated in the Love Buffalo project for 4 years. The past 2 years, he has worked as a snowboarding instructor at Swain Resort in the winter and in the cafeteria at Houghton College in the summer. He has been a student of Taekwondo and Muay Thai. He will be attending Houghton College in the fall. Bemnet Shemales Haile. Bemnet came from Eritrea to receive a Houghton Academy diploma. He plans to study psychology and later proceed to law school. He awaits a decision from the schools of his choice, Virginia State University and Marymount. Rainbow Amanda Kayagima. She's a willing volunteer for school functions and community service projects. In the past, she's been a tutor, taking karate class, and recently won awards for her art. Amanda will be taking a gap year before she begins attending a Canadian university to pursue pre-law. Bailey Elizabeth Lawson. Bailey has completed her time at Houghton Academy with 18 college credits. She's been a member of NHS, the junior and senior class chaplain, a vocalist on the worship team, and a member of the cheerleading squad. She has won awards for her poetry and had her art published in Celebrating Art. Bailey has been in every Houghton Academy drama production since 6th grade. She will be studying art therapy at Houghton College in the fall. Lou Kejat, valedictorian. Gabrielle Lorelei Bulet. Gabby has earned 7 college credits during her time at Houghton Academy and was selected as an NHS member. Gabby was a member of the volleyball team and earned 2 varsity letters. She's also participated in snowboarding, track, and band. Gabby enjoys working as a nursery caretaker and children's church assistant. Gabby will attend Houghton College, where she intends to study accounting and business. Junior Gamea Getsop. Before coming to Houghton, Anderson played soccer in Cameroon and received several academic awards. At Houghton Academy, he has enjoyed his roles in the chapel drama skits. In the fall, Anderson will be studying electrical engineering at Indian River State College. Mohammed Hassan Palavam. Mohammed has made a memorable mark on the Academy in his 1 year of attendance. He ventured out to try choir and was given the honor of being part of the Allegheny All-County Choir. Inspired by his success in table tennis at home, he helped organize a table tennis tournament here at the Academy. He'll be starting out his college venture with 3 credits and will study computer science at Miami University. Kyungmin Park. Kyungmin has chosen to pursue her studies at Austin College, where she earned the Founders Scholarship. She has enjoyed engaging in childcare at Houghton Wesleyan Church for 2 years. Her accomplishments in high school include ACSI ribbons in art and a varsity letter serving as basketball team manager. Marlene Katapewe Kabiwa. During her time at Houghton Academy, Marlene played 2 years of varsity basketball, earning a varsity letter. She's also been involved in community service. Back home in Cameroon, she competed in a national Taekwondo tournament. She has chosen to attend American International College, where she will study accounting. Matthew James Simone. Matt serves as president of Houghton Academy Student Senate this year. Well known for playing drums in chapel, Matt took to the stage as Linus in You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. He's a member of the Arizona Club and the Offbeat Oral Hygiene Organization. In his spare time, he enjoys playing floor hockey. Matt will be attending Monroe Community College to pursue a degree in liberal arts with an emphasis in philosophy. Trevor Jonah Smith. Trevor is completing high school with 12 college credits. He's been an active participant in co-curricular activities at Houghton Academy, playing varsity soccer and JV basketball, as well as being the founding father of the Arizona Club. Also a member of the Oral Hygiene Club and a class representative in his junior and senior years. He's chosen to attend St. John Fisher College, where he will study chemistry. Joel Hudson Tears, salutatorian. Long Chen Yu. Frank has been a member of the varsity basketball team and served as team captain this year. He's also served as a drummer in chapel and an usher at church. Perhaps his greatest claim to fame was that he was a chef for the Lunar New Year dinner. Frank will attend UMass Boston in the fall, where he will be pursuing a degree in Long Jinting. Nikki is completing high school with 8 college credits. She's the president and founder of the Computer Exploration Club, volunteers regularly with Children's Church, played varsity golf, and was the manager of the girls' varsity basketball team. Nikki has received acceptance letters from several colleges and is in the process of deciding which one she will attend to study computer science. Yao Houghton. Tim has earned 3 college credits during his time at Houghton Academy. He's been a participant in both varsity soccer and basketball, was elected as a class representative this year, and served as a church usher. Tim will be attending Indiana University of Bloomington, where he intends to study psychology. Ye Shuping. In the fall, Lawrence will be attending Bentley University, where he plans to major in finance. He's a member of the National Honor Society and has wowed students and faculty alike with his world championship level yo-yo skills. Zhao Ziye. Kiwi has chosen to attend UMass Boston, where she plans to start her studies in the liberal arts. Kiwi has been a team manager for varsity basketball and has played a year of volleyball and golf. Singing on the school's worship team and teaching Sunday school have been favorite activities for Kiwi. She's participated in ACSI art competitions and was awarded the Outstanding Achievement Award in Fine Arts. Mr. Nelson, it is my extreme pleasure today to present to you, on behalf of the faculty of Houghton Academy, These 24 graduates comprising the class of 2017 who have successfully completed the Academy's required course of study, been duly examined and found qualified within Houghton Academy's graduation requirements.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, Dr. Montoro, and especially as well, faculty members. Let me pause now to thank you, faculty, for your efforts preparing these young men and women in order to bring them to this moment where I can say to them as they are standing, folks, these young people have met the prescribed Houghton Academy academic requirements for graduation. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, administrators, and the faculty, I congratulate them. I pronounce you graduates of Houghton Academy and ask you right now to move your tassels from right to left and receive our recognition and congratulations. Would you all please join me now and join the newest alumni in standing. We'll do that in closing prayer benediction by Mr. Wright, after which we ask that you please remain standing at your seats for the recessional, which will include the faculty first. They'll be waiting for the graduates in the Commons, and then the graduates, and finally the platform party. Mr. Wright.
Heavenly Father, I thank you for these students who have earned the right to stand on this stage today and the legacy that they've left at Houghton Academy. This portion of their journeys come to an end, but a new step awaits all of them in their lives. May this graduation day be a celebration of your life within us. We dedicate to you all the learning, the skills that have been developed, and the hard work that's been done all of these years. We ask for your almighty hand to be upon all these who have graduated. Bless their lives from this day on with goodness and love. Help them to stay true to their dreams, to use their gifts wisely, and to walk into the future with faith, hope, and great love. Father, may they be guided in everything they do by your everlasting truth. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
You all ready?